Hey there, it's Tammy C. Walker. If you're like me, I'm sure over your life you have learned a lot of lessons. God knows I have. And I'm still learning and learning. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Hit subscribe for me. And if you're a return YouTuber, viewer, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. So I'm just going to leave some lessons that I have learned over these 49 years. Lesson number 1, trust my gut. It never steers me wrong. Even as a young girl, I remember having a keen gut. I remember being in like second grade, going to this school in Chicago. That's where I'm from. That's where I live in the suburbs right now. And it was in a bad neighborhood. We always lived on the west side. And some of the areas my mom and dad picked wasn't the best, which it was a little weird because my parents were very like old-fashioned, super clean, and very hardworking people. Not saying no disrespect to the west side. I love where I came from, but they would pick some of the more scarier neighborhoods. I didn't quite understand that. Nevertheless, we went to this school on the west side, and this teacher, she just seemed kind of shady. I don't know what it was about her. She was actually pregnant too, but she just seemed shady, and I remember getting bad energy from her. And I told her, "We're moving. You're not going to see me anymore." And I was so embarrassed. The next school year, I came back, and I remember seeing her in the hallway, and I was like, ugh. I was embarrassed because I thought she would think that I was a liar, but it wasn't that at all. It was just that my parents were trying to buy a home and the deal fell through. So it wasn't that I lied, it just wasn't our time yet. But eventually we moved to a better apartment in a better neighborhood. Then after that we ended up buying a house. So those were happy times. But always trust your gut when you go on a job interview, when you're first meeting someone, when you're out dating in these streets. Go with your gut. If it feels weird or you get a weird feeling, it's usually your intuition or your gut telling you, stranger danger, this isn't right, this person is shady. You know, it's always something. And I bet you have done some things and you've looked back and said, I knew I shouldn't have went there. I knew I shouldn't have picked that. That was your gut telling you, so go for it. Always believe in it. Lesson number 2, everyone is not for you. Even people that smile in your face, even family members. And you have to remember this, it's not about you, it's about them. So sometimes when we are living our dreams, creating a YouTube channel, going back to school, bettering ourselves, working out, losing weight, getting married, you are a reflection of perhaps something they want to do. So instead of them saying, hey, how did you lose that weight? Let me ask you something. How did you start your YouTube channel? They rather be envious or jealous. And it's one of the most hurtful things. It's something I'll never understand. Again, I'll say this in most of my videos. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I did not get the jealousy bug, and I'm very grateful. I feel we all have our own walk in this life and our own path. And there's no need to be jealous of anyone's success, story, relationship, how they look, how they dress, how they talk, education, car, house. I can go on and on. It's a waste of time. But everyone is not for you, and it's a tough lesson to learn. But I have been learning and learning it from being a little girl all the way up to now, age 49. Number 3, stop being so scary, Tammy. Don't have fear. When I am not fearful, I'm at my best. When I don't take, I think I'm jumping ahead of myself. I have to take a chance on many things. I remember doing hot yoga with my uncle back in 2007, and he was telling me, he made me laugh. My uncle's like, oh my God. My uncle's 20, almost 20 years older than me. If I'm 49, he's about 67. So he told me, whatever you do, when we go in this room, don't run out because it's over 100 degrees. Sure enough, I was about to pass out, but when I came out, I felt like a new person. 90 minutes of stretching in over 100 degrees. It is quite the experience. If you never did it, you might want to give it a try. It is very, I'm not going to lie, I say relaxing, but it's going to help you later get the toxins out. It'll help you with stretching and relieving stress. Hot yoga, Bikram yoga. Check it out. I know it's in your city. But I was glad I went for it. I'm glad I went back to school and got my master's degree. Not to say, oh, I got a master's degree, but because I did something that I'm passionate about. Social work, helping others. And I've been wanting to do that since I was 19. I'm 49, so go for it. Don't be scared. Just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You succeed. Tip number 4. Listen to advice by those who live what they preach. If you ever go through a breakup, you're going to hear 14 billion quotes. If you lose someone close to you due to a passing, they'll cliche you to death. They're in a better place. Things will be better. Just remember the good times. You know what? Sometimes when it comes to losing a loved one, a nice pat. You could just pat someone and say, I'm so sorry for your loss. Sometimes those are the best words. Don't do cliches. Look at me. It's ready to be Thanksgiving. I would love my dad back. I would love my mom back. I don't want to hear that they're in a better place. My parents were believers. Of course they are. But maybe I'm sorry, Tammy. Or would you like to come over to my house for Thanksgiving? Although I am very blessed. I have a beautiful sister and her husband. And they will take good care of me, my brother and my sister. But listen to the advice of those who live what they preach. I hear people say stuff to me, and I'm like, in my mind, that's not what you did when you had a breakup. You know, another thing people tell you, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't put up with that. You don't know what they're putting up with. They're not telling you what they're putting up with. Watch people. Don't listen to the words. Watch their actions. That's a lesson I learned. Tip number 5, when it comes to my parents, I don't per se remember the Easy Bake Oven they bought me, which I do, or all those toys they bought or those clothes. What I remember is sitting on the couch with my dad watching the Cubs and the Chicago Bulls. I remember road trips to Nashville, Mobile, Alabama, Detroit with my mom and dad and sisters. I remember fishing trips with my dad. I remember dinners with my mom. I remember concerts, the OJs, Patti LaBelle, just Earth, Wind, and Fire, going to all these concerts with my mom. So don't overindulge your kids with clothes, Air Jordan shoes, and purses. What they'll remember when they get older is the time you spent with them, the positive words you told them, how you made them feel. And that was my tip number 5. Number 6, at any given time, someone can walk out on you, and it's okay. You know what? We think we're in these secure relationships sometimes, but people are fickle, people are hurting, people are scared, people are little boys, little girls from the trauma they experienced, and they can choose to leave you. And it's got to be okay because we're not attached to anyone at the hip. Of course it hurts. I'll be the first to tell you, I won't even go there on this video, but I can understand your pain. But we have to let people go when they feel they need to. Give them the space they need to survive, thrive, breathe, live. And true love never dies. Tip number 7. When I take a risk, I soar. When I enrolled for the master's program, I knew I was in my right zone. Every day that I went to school, when I did my homework, it felt right. I was in my right state of mind. I'm not trying to say I'm not in my right state of mind right now. When I'm a therapist, or when I have my therapist hat on, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. There's no doubt. So I want you to take a risk. Learn how to swim. Go on that blind date. Do things you really want to do, and you will soar when you take that risk. My last tip my list sounds so negative. Many people are lazy. Very few really want to do the hard work. I have people come to me and say, I want to be a life coach. Can you help me? I'll get on the phone with them. I'll email them tips. And I notice they never become these life coaches. I gave someone advice recently about some medical information, and the person kept hitting me back with excuses why they probably couldn't get the information they need. Many times, pick up the phone. Even if you need information about something and the person you're calling doesn't have it, if it's a hospital, you need medical information, they have resources. They will guide you to the right place. If they don't, call. I gave like 4 numbers. Call every number and ask. The people that are successful in this world are the ones that are hungry. Les Brown always speaks about this. You got to be hungry. But people are lazy. They stop before they're even halfway there. Don't be lazy in life. Hit it hard. Go hard in the paint. Whatever you want. If it is school, get back in there and get to studying. Give it your all. If it is dating, get out. Enjoy life. Mingle. If it's opening up your own business, do a business plan. Score.org has free business plans, free CEOs all throughout the United States wanting to help you. Those were my lessons. Hit like, hit subscribe. I have plenty more of where these came from, but those are just some I thought of for today. And if I can help anyone, I have my contact information in the body of the video. I am a life coach. I am a therapist and social worker. And if you need help in any area, confidence, if you're going through a breakup, whatever it is, I think and know I can be of assistance to you. Tammy C. Walker, signing off. Thank you.